Hey, what's going on, people? I read a story about a pastor out of the South Side part of Chicago that is basically getting a group of brothers and sisters from his community to patrol the streets and be father figures and mother figures to a lot of these kids out here that are contributing to a lot of the violence that we hear about across the country coming out of Chicago. And it's like I've said before in previous of my videos, a lot of people are focusing on Chicago right now because of President Obama. And this pastor has a church that's in the same community that President Obama is from before he became the president. And a lot of times we come out here and we talk about those who contribute negativity towards the black community, or those who are out here bringing destruction to our people, but we don't honor and we don't shed light on those who are actually out here trying to make a change. And this pastor, Corey Brooks, he had recently basically did a protest and lived on top of an abandoned motel for 3 months as a protest to get the motel torn down or to get funding to build some type of after school program or rec center so that kids can go and actually be productive. And this motel was infested with drugs and prostitution and so on and so on. But he basically lived on top of the motel for 3 months with a tent. Anybody know, you don't have to live in Chicago. It gets pretty cold in Chicago. I'm used to the sunny weather. I'm from LA. That's where I'm at right now. But Chicago, it gets cold during certain times. And for this brother to go out there and basically put his body on the line and say, hey, you know what, I'm not coming off of this roof until I see change. You got to honor somebody like that. And now what he's doing is he's not just preaching from the Bible and having everybody say hallelujah and things need to change and you gang members need to do this and do that. What he's doing is he's actually putting his voice into action. He's getting a group of people from the community and they're going to patrol the streets. I believe he said the men are going to patrol from 6 p.m. to, I don't know if he said 10 or 12 on Fridays, and then he'll have the women out there from 4 to 10 on Saturdays. And basically what this is to do is this is to patrol the streets. This is to keep the violence down, build some type of relationship with a lot of these gang members. We all know that we got the disciples in Chicago, but build some type of relationship with these guys. Be a father, because a lot of these guys out here they grew up in single parent households. They didn't have a positive male role model in their life. So a lot of these guys, they looked at the street to be their father. And a lot of women out here messed up. A lot of these girls out here are misguided, so that's why they're popping out, 2-3 babies at the age of 18, or they don't know how to conduct themselves or carry themselves as a lady. So what he's done is, instead of going to church and just talking about the issue and complaining, he's actually trying to change it. And I have nothing but respect for this brother, because I've said this in previous my videos that I think us as the black community, we have to start taking over our communities. A lot of times we look for the president or the government or the police department to change our situation, when a lot of these people don't give a damn about us. They're there to collect a check, profit off of us, and that's it. They can care less about the violence or the senseless killing that's going on. So I've always said that it's important that it's not just important that we speak about these things and we come up with tactics to change it, but at the same time, it's up to us to hit the streets and actually put in work. Just like I said before, I run with an organization out here in LA, and what my theme about my life is, I like to come out here and speak truth to power, but at the same time go out there in the streets and make a difference. And I think that's what we really have to do as a community. We have to start taking back our communities. And I have nothing but respect for this guy right here. And we seen it with the Detroit 300. They try to do it, and people try to take them down. Those brothers try to take over the community and change and try to go out here and mention. And you always got some haters or some people that just don't want to see black people come together and do something positive, they try to throw salt or they try to come in between it and divide us. And that's why it's important that, we stay strong as a unit. But, I just wanted to come out here and, just show my respect to this brother, because a lot of times churches get a bad rep. A lot of times, they people talk about how they're ripping the community off financially, or, they're selling hopes, and that's pretty much it. But I've always said for a long period of time, and actually I had a discussion with my grandfather. My grandfather's very religious. He's an assistant pastor. And I said one of the things that bother me about today's church is that I don't think they are hitting the streets. I don't think they are involved in the community. It's basically a meeting ground on Sunday where people read the Bible. You have people fall out, hoop and holler, say praise Jesus, and everybody go home. And half of those people continue to raise havoc in hell all throughout the week until the next Sunday it comes up. So I've always said, and what I try to encourage a lot of the pastors to do, and people who are in the church and heavily involved with the church, is to go out and start getting into your community. Don't just talk about the issue. It's time for us to go out here and try to make change. And here we have, a brother that's out here making change. He's put something together to stop a lot of violence that we see. And this can be transgressed all throughout the country. It's like I said, a lot of people talk about Chicago, but you got violence in LA. You got violence wreaking havoc in Philadelphia, New York, certain parts of the South, all across the country. But, a lot of people want to focus on Chicago, like I said, because of President Obama. But, it's just about us coming together and really taking back what's ours, and stopping this violence out here. And collectively, I think we can make a change. If we start mentoring these guys out here that are lost, we start creating jobs, which is why I advocate black business and people going to school and taking up business classes, and us controlling our dollar and building black economics, because that's really the source of a lot of our issues. But much respect goes out to this brother. I will leave a link in the description box if you guys want to read more upon what he's trying to do. But let's just use this as an example, and let's start honoring those here on YouTube that are speaking out and speaking truth to power and trying to educate and create action within our community. And let's start honoring those who are out here in the streets and in the community doing positivity. Because, a lot of times they like to say, black folks don't do anything. We just talk, and there's nobody out there hitting the streets really trying to make a change. And it is. But we seem to not believe anything unless it's on TV or, you see it in the newspaper. Everything that goes on within our community is not broadcast on TV. But much respect to Corey Brooks. I'm out.